Guys, I'm gonna throw up a really quick Rayburn report. I got out at Saturday. It's the 14th, and I got out at 10:30. It's 2:30, so I fished about 4 hours. And real quick, so the water temp where I'm sitting right now is 72 degrees. I've seen water as cool as 69 to 72. A lot of wind today out of the south, maybe southwest. The lake continues to drop. I didn't look. I'll post it below, but I'm gonna guess it's 4.5 feet low. I bet I'm pretty close to right, just haven't looked. I hadn't been on the water in over 2 weeks, and I just came over and basically fished kind of Norris Five Finger Coleman Beach, just blasting through some of my favorite stuff. And I had 11 bites. I caught 6 fish. Caught 6 fish. 3 of them are keepers. I'm not going to bore you with them, but here's a couple of them. Alright, so I don't know how much of that y'all saw, but that little 1.5-pound fish chased up, missed the bait. It come out of the water, I dropped it back in the water. He hit it again, he missed it a second time. I pulled it a little further and he got it the third time and pulled off because my hooks had hooked each other. I've oversized the hooks on it just a little bit. Dadgummit. Don't bite him. I really thought that was a better fish. He whomped it, took it down in the grass and pulled on it pretty good, but just a keeper. Look out, Bo. You're just not helping at all. There's a lot of hooks in him. So I switched out those hooks earlier. I went to a little red 6-aught on the back. I've got a 4 on the front, which is about as you can get away with on a baby 1-. You really don't want them to be able to hook, and these still can, but I just want all the hook I can get in these things. And also it kills the action when you go to those bigger hooks. So those are just little owner round bends. Trebles, a 4 and a 6 on a baby 1-. Bennett.
That's Jared.
Uh-oh, Bodie, get him. Don't eat him. No. So what you see I'm doing there is, well, actually, so let me think back through that. So I caught 3 or 4 little bitty ones on a baby 1-, and I laid that down, and I caught I guess 3 on a baby 1-. I missed 2 on it, or had them on and they came off. I caught a couple on a 6-cent square bill, a 50 series square bill. What excited me and what I wanted to do was I came out here to flip. So I didn't have footage on it, but I came out here the other day and flipped some shallow grass and got several bites and actually pulled a big fish to the top of the water and it pulled off. And the water's dropped about 1 foot since then. And so what I wanted to work my way back through, or what I went today and worked my way through, there's just not enough water in there. I had 2 flipping bites. One of them I flipped in there and I picked up and I thought, that feels like a fish, and she jerked it down, and I'm guessing that was probably a little knothead because I got a pull on it, and I would imagine it had me by the pinchers. The other one I flipped in there, and it's in the back of a drain where the pads and the hydrilla come together, and I flipped in there and it fell down in there, and I picked it up and it felt heavy, and I hit that fish and I didn't move it. And I've seen this before on some big fish. They'll grab that sinker and they just basically crush that sinker, and you don't really move that bait in their mouth, and when they open their mouth, poof, that bait comes out. And I hit that fish and she sat there for a second and poof, she was gone. So I think of those 2 bites I had flipping, one was a little one and one was probably a pretty big one, but that's probably an hour's worth of flipping just to get 2 bites. And one was on a point and one was on a drain, so, or one was on the side of a point and one was in a drain. So I didn't come up with anything that I really felt like was a pattern today. If I get to fish tomorrow, I'm gonna go north and get away from the grass and see what I can find up there. But I just wanted to get some kind of report up for you guys. I hope to get it up tonight. I may not be able to, but if I can, I'll get it up tonight. If not, I'll get it up Sunday. Also, something that happened on my boat the other day, just in case this happens to you guys. So at the Red River fishing the Bass Champs tournament, my boat started, it wouldn't start. It just wouldn't start. And I was getting an alarm that said my starboard actuator was going out. So I finally got it to start. I messed with it a little bit and finally got it started. It had done that to me twice before, and both the other times I got it to start pretty quick. So I carried it to the Premier in Lufkin, and they called me and they said, you know, it's not showing up as a coded issue on the computer, which it should if there's an issue. So they messed with it, and they called me, but Joe called me back and he goes, you know, we may have figured something out. He said, and he's right, my hot foot spring was not working where it pulled it all the way back to neutral. So if I was running down the lake and came out of it and just lifted my foot off the hot foot, it would hold, I don't know, 800, 1500, something. It'd hold way more RPMs than an idle. So I had to actually hook that and pull it. And he said, we think that your motor was accelerated and the motor didn't like that and it confused it and it wouldn't start. And I've now probably started the boat, so they fixed my hot foot. I've probably started the boat 100 times since then, and it's not done that again since. So if you run into that issue and your hot foot's not coming all the way back to idle speed, if you will, you might check that. It might save you a trip to going into the service center. I'm so glad those guys kind of thought that through. And I mean, they knew something was wrong, but the computer wasn't telling them something was wrong. And I think it was just confusing the computer. There really wasn't anything wrong, but it didn't want to start at too many RPM. So that's just an FYI, a little troubleshooting issue. And we're gonna go put it on the trailer. We're gonna take a pretty good boat ride back across there. That wind's blowing pretty good. Come here, Bo. Bodie, come here. Come say hi to everybody. So Bo and I got out today. 2 big dogs stayed home. We'll take them out later in the week. And thanks for tuning in. I'll get some more video up. Actually, I'll get the PHX video up, at least the first part of it, the Phoenix PHX, later this week. Thanks, guys. I'm idling out of hydrilla, but I want to show y'all something. This is guys, I'm gonna stick a cutaway in here right before. I've already said goodbye, but I'm gonna come back and say goodbye again. I broke an ear off a prop at the Red River. Surprise! I know there's nothing to hit at the Red River, right? And that was my 23 pitch 3-blade Fury, and the only prop I had laying around the house was a 25 pitch 3-blade Fury that was pretty beat up. Now I'm empty live wells, 67% fuel, but watch this.